right, guys, this is Emmett again, the Alpha Builder. And let me just say this right here, guys. In this building game, in residential construction, guys, if you're in this game, and if you're in it for any amount of time, at some point in time, either you're going to have to sue somebody or somebody's going to sue you. It is what it is. Guys, we live in a very litigious culture today. The only way people know how to solve their problems is through litigation. And that's the way they seek remedy. Now, I got a bunch of different, guys, this right here is going to be all over the place. I got a whole list of things that I want to just make sure that I hit. But the bottom line, you will be sued. Like I said, you will have to sue somebody. Now, what are some of the things? Let me see. And here are some of the things. Some of the things that's going to make you that's going to cause you to get sued is workmanship. It is what it is. Workmanship. I mean, that's just what it is. Homeowners, especially on a custom job, the homeowner is gonna, they're gonna, either they can hire somebody to come check your work or monitor your work, or are they doing it themselves? And a lot of the homeowners, in most cases, one thing that you can do as a builder, especially, and guys, I'm speaking in terms of what happens here in the state of Alabama. Okay. And this could be national too, guys. And that's why, this could be a national thing too. I suggest all the builders, and like, let me just say this right here. The reason that a lot of homeowners will sue you in most cases is because of their lack of knowledge of the construction industry. They don't know. And you have to educate them as a builder. So, guys, one thing I suggest most builders do when you write a contract out to these homeowners, now, we'll talk about the contracts in just a second, but guys, when you do contracts, you make sure you have a part of your contract needs to be the building standard guidelines. So there's a guideline. It's a National Association of Home Builders guideline, building guidelines. And it's just pretty much any kind of problem that most homeowners are going to have in a house, or when you're building a house, it just breaks down what the problem is, the builder's responsibility, and what's allowable, the tolerances. And if you make sure that homeowner get versed with that, and that's something you can put in their face on the front end, especially when they sign the contract, it would really help you guys. But some of the things, like I said, one of the things that's going to cause you to get sued, guys, is going to be, certain things that perform. Now, things like HVAC, mechanical. That unit's not working, it's not keeping that house heated and cool, you're going to have a problem. Electrical, plumbing. So those are the main ones. Those guys are licensed now. Those three subcontractors are licensed: mechanical, electrical, plumbing. And that's easy to push the accountability back on them. But a lot of time, man, things like framing, roofing, and those things like framing and roofing, those guys that got their money, they got paid and they gone. And here in Alabama, you're responsible for that framing for 7 years as a builder. So if your framers do something wrong, that's on you as the builder. Now, builders, if you got, especially these guys, I would try to do everybody like this, guys, but at the bare minimum, your mechanical, electrical, plumbers, your roofers, and your framers, make sure that they have liability insurance. So when things go wrong, you can do a claim on their liability insurance. The liability insurance cover their workmanship. It's their workmanship. If their workmanship is not right, it falls on them. Matter of fact, guys, here in Alabama, I would suggest you. Now, number one, you need to have your insurance. You need to have your general liability insurance. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to make sure on at least those subcontractors, but I would do it on every last one of them. Your insurance guy or your insurance rep would want you to do it on everybody. Have all of your subcontractors to list your company as an additional insurer before they start the job. I wouldn't pay them, or I wouldn't let them step on that site until they get that stuff to me. And what they'll do is they'll list your company as an additional insured. So if they have faulty, if they have something that's not working right, their workmanship is not quite right, then you can file that claim under their insurance, not yours. Keep your insurance premiums from going up. Okay. Now, if you're at fault, you might have to file it under your insurance. You know, if it's something that you overlooked, you didn't check the spans and stuff like that, or you didn't check you forgot to look in the code book and make sure things worked out. You know, you might have to file it under your insurance. And something else, guys. Speaking of plans, man, spans are usually dictated by what you see on the plans. Now, in a lot of cases, like on the framing side, here in Alabama, a lot of the plan designers are not. They don't have to be licensed, which is another problem I think that we have here in Alabama. But they don't have to be licensed, guys. So you got any and everybody that's drawing up plans. They may not be versed at the code, so they're just drawing these plans up, and when them plans fail, they're gone. So you got to really check behind these guys. I did another video about this a couple of weeks ago, but check these plan designers, man. Make sure that as a builder, you need to go in there and you need to check all the spans, check all the loads. You need to check everything out. And matter of fact, guys, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Now, I know my supplier, my lumber supplier, when I send the plans to them, you know, we have a series of checks and balances. You know, sometimes I'm too busy to catch all that stuff. And, you know, that's why you got to have some good people on your team. When you building, guys, you better have good lumber supplier, good engineers that work with the lumber supplier that can take those plans and put them in a CAD program and engineer that stuff to make sure all the beams go where they need to go and make sure all the loads are stacking and all the spans are correct before they push that lumber load to you. You got to make sure, I mean, and that helps because the more people you have looking at it and putting their eyes on those plans that were produced by probably an unlicensed or just any and everybody that's doing plans, that helps you because, you know, at the end of the day, that homeowner's not going to be looking at that plan designer. They're going to be looking at you because you're the builder. And also now, you know, when you think about it, now, and here are the roles of the builder, guys. So typically well, not typically, but what should happen is that those plans, so a plan designer draws the plans. Those plans have to be submitted to the municipality that you're going to build in. I'm talking about here in Alabama. It has to be submitted to here in Alabama. And Alabama does, whatever municipality you submit it to, they have a plans examiner. That plans examiner should take those plans and examine or review those plans for code compliance. They're looking at, they got the code book, they look at the plans, and they're making sure that it matches up with the code and other local ordinances that municipality requires. That's what needs to happen. So once they check all that, then those plans are given back to that builder, and that builder have to build that structure like those plans. That builder's not an engineer, he's not a designer, he doesn't do it. His job is to build that house according to those plans. And if you did that as a builder, I don't think you broke any. You know, sometimes people will try to sue you and stuff like that, but if you did it according to what that plan designer did and they had stuff that failed, that's on them. But builders, you still got to protect yourself. You got to get general liability insurance and all that other good stuff to make sure that they don't come back on you. So those are things that you got to think about, guys. And here's what's going to happen, guys. The first time a homeowner sees something wrong in the house, they're going to start looking for other stuff that's wrong. They're going to go through in builders, that's why I tell you guys, be straight up with them. If you mess something up, yes sir, I messed that up, I'm going to correct it. I got plans to correct it. Be straight up with them. Don't try to navigate around these homeowners. Shoot it straight with them, guys. And they'll respect you for it. Now, you can't just keep messing up because now they're going to be saying, well, you know, why the heck I hired this guy? He keep making mistakes, you know. But if you mess up, let them know, and you keep this thing moving and you work on it. You get that stuff right. Because the first thing, like I said, the first thing that homeowner will do when they find problems in that house, they're gonna go look for other problems. I mean, this is a big investment for them. This is one of the in their mind, this is the biggest investment I'm ever gonna make. Now, I don't see a home, especially if you got a mortgage on it, as an investment. I see it as a liability, but in their mind, this is what they're thinking. And the first thing that they're gonna do, I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna do. If you're in Alabama, they're gonna go to the inspection department. That's gonna be their first move. Inspectors are gonna come out there. They're gonna look at it, and then they may get an engineer to come out there. They may hire an engineer. They spending money as we go now. The engineer ain't coming out there for free. And when that happens, so these people are out of money. They trying to recoup that money back. So the one thing I don't know if I agree with this 100%, but the next move is going to be, they're going to try to go after that slush fund that the Alabama Home Builders Licensing Board have. I don't know if other states do the same thing. So it's about $10,000 to $20,000, something like that. That if a licensed builder was negligent, they did something wrong, that homeowner could be entitled to get that money. So they're gonna go straight to the state. And the state is going to come out, they're going to do their investigation and research and stuff like that. And they're going to make a determination on who was right and who was wrong. The builders, I promise you, man, if you do it according to those plans, and you did it like the plans say do it, and they were reviewed, that's your card you want to play. That's your ace. Slapped on the table. And, this is just how it is, man. But that's what they're going to do, guys. So here's some of the things that you can do. Let me just see. Now, sometimes you're just going to run up on, sometimes you're just going to run up on a bad homeowner. Some people you just can't, and a lot of time, guys, as a builder, man, you've been around enough people, you try to vet that stuff out on the front end. If you got a homeowner that's disagreeable and it's hard to kind of make them, to do things for them and they be okay with it. Sometimes you may not want to take that job. Guys, you can't build for everybody. This is not like Walmart or Burger King or something like that. You just have it your way and the customer's always right. Guys, as a builder, you can't build for everybody. You better see if things line up with you guys, and you can make that determination when you're doing contracts and stuff like that. You got to read these people. And you don't want to be anxious, man. And that's another problem. A lot of builders get out here, they're just so anxious, so they just start building for anybody. And that customer, just y'all personality may not line up. And if you can't, if you got a person that you can't work with, man, no matter what you do, they're just not going to be happy about anything. No matter what you give, you already starting out as, behind. And I found out the people who you give the most to are the ones who want the most. Like, if you got a customer and you already gave them this, that, and the other, they're going to keep coming. It's not going to ever stop. Especially customers who are at the cusp of what they can afford. You got a $500,000 house, and they barely right there at $500,000. That's the best they can do, and their income supports that they can only get $500,000. They don't have 10%, and I think today, guys, I think you need about 10% that you don't even need you don't have to touch, that you just got in the bank that you can use on that house in the event that you got some issues, like hitting rock or something like that. I think if you got a $500,000 house, you need to have at least $50,000 on the side that you don't have anything to do with. And guys, let these banks vet these people too. Don't make no side deal contracts and stuff like that. But guys, these are the customers, man. You want to make sure that, like I said, man, it's better to miss out on a bad deal than to buy into I'm sorry, I said it wrong. It's better to miss out on a good deal than to buy into a bad one. Yeah, if you buy into a bad deal, you out the game. I was talking to one of my guys today. You out the game for at least 7 years. It's hard to bounce back on this stuff. So I gotta plug up my computer. But so this is what we got, guys. And you guys, and here's the thing, man, you can't be mad at that homeowner for going to try to get that slush fund. It's almost like a woman get pregnant for somebody and she need help with that baby and she go to the city or she go to the state or wherever they go to get resources, get help. The first thing they're gonna ask for is who's the daddy, and then DHR is gonna come after that daddy. Yeah, it's the same scenario. So these are the things that you got to look out for, guys. And let's see. I think I talked about that. All right. Oh man, I'm hitting these points and they're all on my paper, and I didn't even, and I'm just kind of going through them. So here's what I suggest you guys do. Since we already know that either you're gonna be sued or you're gonna have to sue somebody, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I think it may be a just good idea if you can just find a good attorney. Now, I would try to find a home building attorney, not a commercial or a general contractor attorney. They live in two different worlds, okay? And that's why I suggest most of you guys get with the Home Builders Association. Pay that $800, $900, whatever it is, to join your local Home Builders Association so you can have access to these guys. But I would find me a good attorney that focuses mainly on residential construction, especially for the builders, has a relationship with home builders. I would try to find that person, and I would just go ahead and pay them whatever their retainage is. I'd go ahead and just give it. I'd get me some profit on one job, and I'd just pay retainage and say, hey man, just hold on to this right here, just in case, if they would do it. Because it's like night and day, man. That those, if you got a good home building attorney, and somebody else, they go get a general contractor attorney. It's like night and day. Now that general contractor attorney could hurt you a little bit because they just don't know that the rules don't work the same. The contracts are different. And also, man, if you're part of the Home Builders Association, man, you have access to really good contracts that are geared toward home builders. That contract will save you. You might have to pay $99, $100 a year to access these contracts through the Home Builders Association if you're a member. But these things can help you guys. I mean, they can really help you in the time some things like that go on. Let's just make sure. Another thing you can do, guys, while you're going through the process of building, take pictures of everything. Guys, I got a software. It's called Company Cam. You guys ought to check it out. You go online, and I don't get a dime from Company Cam, guys. They're not paying me to put this out on YouTube or any other platform I have. But this, and there's similar products like this right here. You can snap unlimited pictures on all your job sites, and they keep it uploaded in the cloud. And you can also, guys, I send those pictures to my homeowner. You can make notes and things like that. You can pull all these things up, and you can make notes on the pictures and stuff. But I have that, and I also have a Reolink camera that I have on site, and I give my homeowners access to that site so they can see who comes to the site every day without them having to go over there. They can see progress, at least up until the exterior stuff gets done, and that way they don't have to be going over there all the time finding stuff. But have that, man. Take a lot of pictures, documentation, man, software, man. These things. Well, let me talk about software in just a second. But documentation, change orders. You do change orders, man. Get that stuff signed before you do it. Before you start ordering material, get that. I know we get busy, guys. Get that stuff signed. Or get paid on the front end before you do it. Don't get stuck out here and toward the end. Oh, by the way, you owe me another you owe me another $15,000. Yes, if I'm a homeowner and you told me I owe you another $15,000, I'm gonna be kind of disturbed a little bit. Well, not a little bit, but a lot. You need to prepare me for that stuff. But if you're doing those change orders as you go, I know it takes time, but you got to get in there and do it. So do that, guys. And and this makes another point, guys. Guys, you can't do this without software, man. I got software. We got software called Octane that we use, and it keeps up with everything. You can track everything, and we update it as we need it. Guys, that stuff is saving. What you're estimating, a lot of times we get messed up. A lot of builders get messed up because they didn't estimate on the front end right because they don't have software. They just kind of do an Excel spreadsheet, try to figure things out as they go, and then they mess around and then they're not tracking it. They don't really know how much they paid or how much, software does all that stuff. So typically what happens a lot of time, man, is on the front end, you didn't estimate that job right. Then when you don't estimate that job right, toward the end, you start going over on a lot of things. And then when you start going over on a lot of things, then you're trying to recoup that money by cutting costs on everything. And homeowner at that point is not cutting costs. They're gonna go pick the most expensive stuff. See, you want to do that thing in reverse, guys. So you got to get that. You got to get that stuff right too, man. That stuff will get you sued, man. These homeowners get out here and sue you. And sometimes, man, hey, man, I got a guy. I let him know how much I was gonna make off the job, and he just simply told me, you don't need all that. So heck, I had to sue somebody. So it is what it is. It's gonna happen. It's inevitable. I think, especially in the society that we live in, it's not a knock on you as an individual or a person. Now, here's the thing. If you don't learn from it, if you done got sued and, you got through it or whatever you did to get through that, you get sued again, and again, you probably don't need to be doing this. But if you can learn from it, and guys, something else you need to learn from. You need to learn from other builders. You need to listen to other builders. That's why legacy builders do really well in this game, because their dad was a builder. All the mistakes that they made, they impart that information to their son, keep their son from making those mistakes, guys. Got to listen to some of the builders. Like I said, you're going to be sued, guys. Let me just make sure I got everything here. Make sure your subcontractors have their liability insurance. Be anxious for nothing. I think I covered that. All right, guys. Once again, guys, like, share. I just thought I'd put this out here, man, because some of you guys, you get down. I had to go sue somebody, man, and I felt bad about it. I got down on myself because I'm like, man, can't they understand? Guys, some people just don't think like you do. And another thing, when you start dealing with these sums of money in the construction industry, people start thinking and acting totally different. They change, man. So, guys, but learn from your mistakes, man. If you messed up, take it on the chin, regroup, try not to let your company go under, build yourself up, back up, live to fight another day. Once again, guys, like, share, subscribe. You guys have a good one.